Today is the day. Our laser is on its way. I just got word from George, the delivery driver, that he's about an hour and 15 minutes out or so. I am super excited about getting that thing in. I've been doing a bunch of research and a bunch of videos and stuff, or watching a bunch of videos and stuff. I cannot wait to have that thing in production here. But the cool thing that I think we're going to try to do on this is we're really going to try to deep dive into power consumption, oxygen usage. The cut quality obviously is a lot different, but give you side-by-sides, the speed on it, everything else. So I know it'll be a little farther out, but once we get it installed, we'll try to get all that content out. And me and my daughter happened to be out here on the pad last night coloring, and this is what Dad drew. That's all I could think about, you know, the night before a big change in the shop. But anyway, we're excited, we're pumped, we're ready to get this machine in and put it to work. All right, guys, the machine has hit the ground softly. We got it off the trailer pretty dang good as far as I'm concerned. Had to repick it once just because I didn't have it quite enough back. But here behind us lies the new laser. I'll try to get over here. It'll probably screw up, but here, let me just do this. Well, there she is in all of her pride and glory. Can't really see down the side of her yet, but there's the inside. Try to get a better pano with it, maybe with the GoPro. Do it a little bit better, but all the nice new shiny slats. The head unit. I will say one of the first things that I noticed right off, just because of, I'm not gonna say the lack of information, if you will, but probably honestly just the lack of not asking. But machine comes with plugins. I thought it would be hardwired in, which we could definitely just take those plugins off and hardwire it in as well. The way we have ours set up on a breaker, it's not going to hinder anything. But she come nice wrapped in that plastic. Got our vent there. I don't know how well you can see that, but anyway, we're going to start trying to get this thing in the shop. Gonna try to get it up on some dollies, push it in, and start this Tetris game. I was about to say dominoes, but dominoes would have been freaking stupid. So yeah, start this Tetris game of getting it worked back in the machine shop without scratching anything. And anyway, I'm excited. I'm ready for this bitch to go inside. Well, there she is in all of her glory. She's in. She's not leveled up yet, but at least down on leveling feet, if you will. But we ended up, as you've seen there in the time lapse, had to take a couple of slats out because I've got it up against the wall. We had to find a way to get those dollies out. The dollies worked way better when we pointed them in the right direction, but anyway, we'll do a lot more in-depth video here in just a little bit. But for right now, we're going to grab some lunch. Sounds like somebody's pulling in here, and we'll get back to you here in a little bit. All right, guys, so we're back after lunch here. Gonna show you a little bit of an unboxing, if you will. We got just the keyboard, mouse. This is the computer, goes in the back. The wireless pendant, which the box for it's over there. And then it came with this box, or this baggie rather, of some lenses, some different nozzles, and some little of those, what are those things called? The little touch deals.
Stylus.
Stylus, there we go. Couldn't think of the word. Anyway, and then on the other pallet that's not obviously included within the machine, or sitting in the machine rather, is the catch trays for the bottom. Here are the other arms, or the arms, not other arms, but the arms that go on the side of the machine here for the slide out tray, and then the chiller. The only thing that we're finding out right now, obviously just getting into it, but there's no connections for your high pressure or low pressure gas to go into the machine. So try to look in the manual, see if we can find that thread size and count, or size and count to show you guys or give you guys. But as of right now, that's really about the only thing. I did mention earlier that it came with plugs. It comes with the regular 3-prong 220 plug. I think I'm going to go ahead and just take this apart and wire it directly into those boxes you see back there. I hate big machines that are plug-in. It's kind of unsafe. Somebody back here dicking around or something and knock it out while the machine's running. I would rather just have something that's hard powered in. And because up here on the front of the machine, take you around over here, we have a breaker panel. So everything that ShopSabre said we needed has got a breaker panel. And then we also have a fan for the fume extractor. But and then in that box as well came the keyboard tray, or the tray for here. Yeah, I guess that's all to be honest, the keyboard and the mouse tray. But super sexy machine. Try to maybe do one more little pan around here before we get it all installed. But the super nice looking gantry, good looking welds, probably machine welds I would hope, for as many as they're doing. And then there's the power head. Lines running up to go to the chiller, lights, camera, back of the monitors that are in the face. Anyway, as Greg said, we'll be impressed once we start seeing it cut and see what kind of quality cuts it's throwing off. But the build wise, of course, being a ShopSabre client, I guess if you will, for the last few years, they build really good shit. So anyway, put you on time lapse here. We'll kind of do little talking points here and there whenever we get something interesting. Says that we got three lockdown points for shipping. We're gonna go ahead. It did not come with a lockdown here that we see or that looks anything like what's in the instruction manual here. So we'll pull these two off. It's nice and tight. And well, I can't help you. I was gonna try to tell you what size that was, but
3/16.
3/16. There we go. Kind of in a shitty spot, but good thing you only got to mess with it once. All right, do that. Go ahead and put that bolt back. And that is another key point. ShopSabre did send a remove tag, or put a remove tag on the two things that it does say to remove, but the third one's just not there. Okay, remove that. It stopped. Yeah. Plasma always done that too from time to time, but all right. So we got those two off. I got that off already. Got that off. We do need to get the gantry wrap cut off the backside. And then while I'm getting that gantry wrap cut off, I'm gonna grab a level. There we go. It didn't turn the vent on. Nope. All right, guys, we're back. We have the machine up and running. It is finally made some parts. We made some little feet and little caps. I know it's a couple days later. You guys can't tell that though. Although I did clean up. I shaved a little bit since the last video. This machine is badass. I've just got to be the first one to go out on the limb and say that. The machine, the learning curve on it was not real hard at all. There isn't a lot of information out there as far as you know, your focus and your cut speed and your gas. There's a bunch of pictures everywhere, but once you start getting it dialed in, we found that all the pictures look the same. So we started messing with the gas pressure, started messing with the focus, started messing with the cut speed, and then just really started fine-tuning it. I don't have them laid out here anymore, but I think we've cut somewhere around probably 200 like 1.25" by 1.25" squares with radius corners, from everything from 14 gauge up to 3/8, just really trying to dial it in so when we do get this thing into full production mode, if something goes wrong, we kind of know what to do and what to change. But anyway, the machine is very nice. The video that you seen there a minute ago of our first cut, we screwed up a couple of times, didn't have the shutter open, rookie mistake. But anyway, we've got it all hooked up. It's all running. Chiller's back here running. Works great. Haven't done a lot of cutting with it, but done enough to know that it's a very, very well engineered machine. Turning around here. So walk you through a little bit of it. These are the electrical connections that you're going to have to make. Like I said before, I don't know where they went, but they've got 3-prong connectors that come with the machine if you want to plug it in. I did not want to plug it in. I'm just picky like that. I want everything hardwired in. Like I said before, I also have a breaker up front where I'm not going to have to worry about that. The only other connection is, or another connection rather, is the gas going in. So we've just kind of got this rigged up for now. All of our hard pipe, which is what we're going to run to our manifold that we're going to build, we just got a quarter-inch pipe thread fitting is what goes in there for both your high and low pressure. I did find that in the manual finally, and then we've just got it up to a single stage oxygen regulator, just like you would on a regular torch system. Another thing that you've got to fix or get wired up or hooked up whenever you come in is your chiller. There's 4 lines. There's an in and an out for 2 different areas. I know they both go, or one goes to the head and one goes to the big unit in the back here, but everything's worked good for there. Another thing as far as just information, that I couldn't find. The chiller, if you buy this unit, the chiller comes with 4 gallons of, or needs to have 4 gallons of distilled water in it. I couldn't find that information anywhere, so I just ended up buying like 10 or 20 gallons and come home with it. The only other thing is the alarm port on the chiller itself. It does not come with any of the fume extraction stuff when you buy it, and obviously ShopSabre tells you that, but we just bought a 12-inch fan off Amazon and we flex piped it out for now. I will say that the flex pipe is not going to be a long-term. It doesn't pull enough CFM to keep the cabinet itself completely fume free. But for right now, getting it up and running, trying to get a little dab of money in our pockets again after buying it, we'll worry about that another day. Another really cool thing, and obviously if you're doing research on the ShopSabre stuff, you already know about this, but is the pull-out tray. Let me put you down for just a minute. All right, so as you can see there, full 5x10 bed pull out, which is really nice. You can get the forklift up to it, you can get yourself right up to it, however you're loading and unloading plates. I know in this particular little area behind me here, we're gonna have a plate rack over there in the corner, and then we're gonna have a gantry system set up here eventually where we can load and unload plates off of the plate rack, and then gantry right on out into the main shop to a pallet or whatever we need to do there. Then I'll paint you around here. And here's the setup. Showed you a couple times now. It's got a really nice Ray Tools controller, nice screen, touch screen, which is good. I like it. If you forgot something, you ain't got to grab the mouse. You can just reach over and bump it real quick. The screen here, the video screen, it is really badass. I really like it, but it hasn't been real practical for us yet. Maybe just because we're not just sitting here in front of the machine watching it. My idea with this is I'm going to see, I may not be able to, but I'm going to try to take an HDMI cable from here up to my new office and put a screen up in there to where if we have a machine running on a file that we've already done, so on and so forth, I can just keep an eye on it in the office. But the tips and stuff, real easy to change out. And I know ShopSabre offers them. You can find them elsewhere a little cheaper. Don't know the quality, you know, comparatively from one to the other. One of the big things that I don't like, or I haven't figured it out yet, I shouldn't say I don't like it, I just haven't figured it out yet, is all of the measurements in the Ray Tools controller are all metric. Not the end of the world. I can convert everything over, and obviously after long enough running it, I would start to know my measurements and probably just honestly just put me a little cheat sheet up here to go off of. But nevertheless, it's kind of a pain in the ass. I don't really want to have to look and keep looking. This machine is going to be so much better as far as cut quality that it's saving time, that I don't want to have to take that time back up putting the different size parameters and everything else in. The DXF file loading, we cut out a Powell Fabrication sign this morning actually, and the DXF, super simple, upload, go. Where I will say one of the things that I really like about it is the plasma. So you would zero on the sheet and then it would go back to that 0 point every time. But like when we were doing all of our test cuts back and forth, I could just take this thing over an inch and I could press go, and it would go and it would consider that as 0. There's a setting in there to change that where it goes back to 0 every time, or where the head location is at. I kind of like it. You know, if you're cutting out some little small stuff and you've got just a little area, say you had a scrap sheet that you're trying to, you know, just burn up, you can go in there and utilize it. It's really fast. It's really simple. There's a lot of different good and bad about that, I guess. The trays on the bottom, I really like those. I will say when we kind of got started, I may not have had a few of my settings quite right. and there was enough heat getting down to that that base tray, and it kind of started to warp it and melt some of the paint off, which is to be expected. You got a lasered on painted surface. One of the things I will say that I didn't like was the setup of the machine on the cut parameters. And this is nothing to ShopSabre really. They've got parameters in there that are decent, but they're not good for us. They may be good for somebody else. We spent probably 2 days of just back-to-back cuts, back and forth, trying to learn it, trying to figure it out, cussing and discussing, and finally we ended up just taking all the plates and writing down the focus, the speed, and the gas, because those are the three most crucial. And started our own little science project, if you will. For us, the parameters that are in the Ray Tools controller and the Ray Tools book are way off. I mean, we may not be doing something right, I'll be the first one to say, but our cuts are looking really good. I don't know how well you guys will be able to see it, but this is some 3/16 that we cut. We ended up at 2.2 on our travel speed, 0.6 bar on the gas pressure, and 3.6 on the focus. And just for quick reference here, if I can find it, the book calls for that one actually didn't end up too bad. I'm lying. That one ended up at 2.2 is what they call 4.6 and 0.3. So I lied on that one. It wasn't too far off. The 3/8 and stuff, it did seem like it got quite a ways off. Like the focus on some of those were 0.2 is what they were wanting, and we were still needed to be 0.5. But anyway, you'll have to get it in, fine tune it, massage it yourself. But nevertheless, if you're coming from the plasma world over into the laser world, it is night and freaking day. It is so nice. I took a 1/4-inch plug or 1/4-inch plate, cut out a 1/2-inch plug with an 1/8-inch hole through the center of it, and an 1/8-inch drill bit just barely chirped going down in it. That's how straight that cut was. And obviously, with the plasma, pretty much anything under like 1/4-inch on 1/4-inch plate, you're really testing its limits there. It's just not a real good cut. But yeah, if you guys are interested, this video is not sponsored by ShopSabre in any way, shape, or form yet. Maybe they'll do something later on, but I am super impressed with the machine. Now it's time to get it to work and get it to paying for itself. If you guys like the video, give us a like, give us a comment. I'm not trying to be a spokesperson for ShopSabre. I'm just a peckerhead in the woods that bought a really cool machine. So if you guys have some information or want some more information, additional stuff, just let me know. Be more than happy to tell you what I found out so far. And the cut parameters. If you get your machine in and it's not quite right, ShopSabre has helped me out on a couple different things, just the focal point and that. But if it's a weekend or something, message the YouTube channel, and if I see it, I'll try to get to you as quick as I can. But anyway, thanks for tagging along, guys. Let's get this thing in production. See you on the next one.